Finally on. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope wherever you are celebrating Thanksgiving full of gratitude. This is our week of gratitude. We're continuing with gratitude throughout this week. And so I hope that you are able to spend time with your family wherever you are in the world. Happy Thanksgiving. I've had a very eventful day. Of course, it was great to spend time with family. Had a couple of incidences. For example, the heat went out in the house completely, and I'm not used to the cold anymore. So it was not easy. And suddenly, about 5 a.m. this morning, I had the bright idea to try the service called Thumbtack. I had used them before when I was trying to find someone to fix my phone. And so I had an account, and somehow the idea, I shouldn't say somehow, I believe it was the Lord just giving me this idea. I'll try this. And I did. And I just, out of the flow, just said, you know what, let me just see if someone can come help us. Because we're leaving, but still, we still want a warm house, at least before we leave. And put in the request. It was early because I'm still a bit jet lagged, so my timing is still off. Of course, yeah, if I was to go by Bahrain time, it was almost noon. So I was kind of awake. I said, okay, well, I'm a bit tired. Let me go get some sleep. I put it in, and I was getting ready to go to bed, bundled up, gloves on hands, scarf, socks, trying to stay as warm as I can. And as I was exiting the door, I had my phone ring, and I was like, who's calling me at this time of the morning? I looked, it was not a number that I recognized. Normally, I would not even pick up the phone, especially when I'm sleepy, I'm tired, and I'm freezing. But I decided to pick it up. Let me see who's this person calling me, because I didn't recognize the number. And I picked up the phone. And it was the service people from one of the companies I reached out to at 5 a.m. Well, that first of all got me. Like, they pick up the phone at 5 a.m. They got my attention. So we talked for a little bit. I explained the problem. We don't have heat. I'm freezing. Can you send somebody as early as possible? And the lady was very pleasant. And they came. They followed through. They came this morning and fixed the heat. Hence, I don't have to wear a jacket. I don't have to wear gloves. It's nice and warm. But then we're leaving. But at least for this one night, I can enjoy some warmth before going back to Bahrain. And so I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for service providers who are up 24/7, because they must have been up 24/7 just waiting for calls. And on Thanksgiving Day, of course, we had to pay extra, but I will pay. There's some things that when it happens, you pay whatever is needed. And so we took care of it, and we have heat. So thank God for that. Grateful for that. Now, my topic has to do with defining problems. First of all, you find yourself in a situation and you think, this is a problem, but is it a problem? It's a problem if you can solve it. If you cannot solve it, it's not a problem. It's a predicament. A predicament. You can't do anything about a predicament. And the reason I say that is that sometimes we mistake the two. We think problems are predicaments, and we think predicaments are problems. I'll give you an example of a predicament. We had lunch reservations at a restaurant. And of course, I won't say of course, unexpectedly, we were running late. And as we were on our way to the restaurant, one of the lights just decided, I'm not going to change today. I'm just going to take my time. And of course, we're looking at the time like, come on, light, you got to change so we can go. Now, that's a predicament because there is nothing we can do to make the light go faster, change quicker. So there's no point really getting all frustrated and worked up. And you find that when you're the most in a hurry, when you want things to happen the fastest, that's when the people in front of you are taking their time, they're moving as slow as possible, the light will not change when you need it to. What are you going to do? The more you get frustrated, it's not going to make the circumstances change because the light will change when it's going to change. The people in front of you are going to move at their own pace. There's nothing you can do about that. So that's a predicament. When it's a predicament, recognize it's a predicament and relax. If it's a problem, find a solution and you can get it solved. So here are some thoughts on defining problems. And this is from my mentor, John Maxwell, of course. And let's look at problems. The acronym goes as follows. P, predictors. Predictors, they help in molding our future. If you think about it, when you find yourself in a problem that you can solve, it can help in molding the future. For example, we were in a house that was cold. We were able to fix it, and now the future is warm for us. R is a reminder. It shows us that we cannot succeed alone. Yes, we had to call in help and we got the problem solved. O is for opportunities. It pulls us out of ruts and prompts creative thinking. Yes, thinking at 5 a.m. I better get somebody to help solve this problem, and that was creative thinking. B is a blessing. Opens doors we would otherwise not go through. And so you recognize that when you're in a problem and you're able to get it solved, that's a blessing. L, these are lessons because they provide instructions with each new challenge. E, everywhere, telling us problems are everywhere. Everybody, there's no person alive that hasn't faced some challenge or the other. So it tells us that no one is excluded from difficulties. And I'm sure if I was to ask you what challenges you faced maybe in the past 24 hours, I'm sure you have some stories to tell. M, messages warning us about potential disaster. And S is solvable, reminds us that every problem, remember I talked about the difference between problems and predicament? Every problem has a solution. If it doesn't have a solution, it's not a problem. It's a predicament. So if you can separate the two, you find yourself in a much better situation, a much better position to deal with predicaments. You deal with it, like people going slow, lights not changing. You deal with it like, okay, I can't like switch on the traffic light and say, here, go, change to green. You just deal with it and you allow it not to let you get frustrated. And if it's a problem, you find a solution. Just remember, creative thinking, you get things solved. So separate your predicaments from your problems and deal with them accordingly. So again, happy Thanksgiving. I'm seeing some comments here. I'm just gonna scroll through, finally figuring out how to see comments. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, thank you so much. My I'm fine, thank you. Thanks for asking. I hope you are well too. And this is Rashid Mohammed. Thank you so much for asking. I hope you're well. Bonjour, belle dame. Okay. Thank you very much. Bonjour to you too. And I wish I could speak French. Comprends pas anglais. I know a little bit of French, but comprends pas. I don't know what that means, really. Je ne comprends pas. Oh, so you're saying you don't understand English, I think. Okay. Hello, je m'appelle Tosin. Okay, what is my beauty secret? My beauty secret. Prayer, a lot of prayer and blessings and healthy eating and rest and happy thoughts and prayer. Back to prayer. Always prayer. It's amazing what gratitude can help. It's true. Your thoughts can actually help you see things differently, help you face things differently, and just help you with the way you see things. Gratitude, again, look at whether you're having a predicament or whether it's a problem. And I am originally from Nigeria. Thanks for asking. Hey, are you France? No, I'm not French. Hello? Hello. I think this is probably the most conversation I've had in a long time. But it's time for me to go and get some sleep. We're traveling in a couple of hours, so I will try to do another video before I leave, because if I don't, I will miss a day due to travel. I don't want to miss a day, so I will see you in a few hours before we travel. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye for now. Thanks for joining.